So here's my circuit. Just going to really quickly show that the reset button works. So basically, if you click reset, well, it goes back to green and red. Okay, so this, I figured out it'll be easier to say the principle of it with pointing and stuff without instead of just writing on paper. So I'm going to dive in more to the principles here. So basically, we start with these two D flip-flops. These are the things that actually stores the current state and then constantly outputs the current state, which is really important. This section, the whole thing on the right, is relatively simple. It just take in the two inputs from the current state and then translate them to the respective outputs of the color patterns. The green red, the yellow red, red green, red yellow, nothing too technical about it. It's just some simple and then NOT gates. And then remember that these two light bulbs, the current state, is a better visualization of the 0 and 1, or 0 and 0 here right now, so the data that they're storing. And then the next state would be the state that is going to the next. I think the most complicated part of this system is here. So what does this actually do? Well, it takes the output or slash the current state outputs, which are like then cycled back here, and then alongside with the TA and TB, it determines what the current state are and then determine the next state. So, based on if TA, what current state is and then what TA, TB stuff is too. So it's kind of a loop that goes back to check itself. Alright, so I'm just going to run it through real quick. So if I hit on TA, so see this part here, because there's NOT gate. So if I turn TA on, it actually makes this part 0. So the whole AND gate just kind of shuts off. So no matter what, you always get a 0 here. And remember, for these D flip-flops, when you clock them, it'll take in the input and then store it in. So if this one is dark, then the output is always going to be dark. The storage is always going to be dark. However, if I flip this off as here, so if it goes to like let me find my mouse. Yeah, it goes to the NOT TA here, then this will turn on. And remember, when you clock it, this gets stored in, oh, sorry, I didn't close the reset. This gets here. That's what clock do. All right. So now, realize how we have this digit on. Yeah, that goes back to the XOR gate that shows that, well, next state is here. And then since that this one is on, actually both of these two are off. So the S0 state is going to be 0, so that just transitions from the first state to the second state, 0, 1, 2, 1, 0, right? And then if we clock this, well, it's going to store this part to here, right? And then this is the S2 gate state now. I don't want to go too detailed about this, but just basically now this detects what state it is. Well, S2, one of them lights up, so this one is going to still light up. S2, well, so this one, it is S2, so we do want a NOT TB, which is like here, and then, well, we know it's S2 because this one is not lighting up, right? This one. So yeah, that constitutes this part that brings this to light. Oh, this is really bad structured, but you get the point. But then if we turn this on, similar to what happened in the beginning, this one turns off, then this does this. So the clock wouldn't work. But then once we turn this off, see how it allows all of these to light up, and as well as this. So remember this state, and then when you click it, oh, did I click on it? Yes, it goes to the fourth state. And now the fourth state doesn't really care about this. It doesn't really care about it doesn't really care about TA or TB. Anyways, when you click it, it's going to be the first state again, and that's because the XOR gate here. Because both of these are on now, the XOR makes it dark, and then this one is also dark because, well, all of these are lighting up. So these first two, all of these first two are actually just the representation of the states here. These first two and these first two. All right, and so basically when you click it again, it's going to go back to stage 1 again. So that's all. I don't know how well I explained, but basically the idea is, it takes the current state, lights up the LED here, takes the current state, goes to the first two input of these, and then combined with T and TB determines what the next state are, and then that'll be put into the current state if, you clock it. All right, thank you.